Please and thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Some love, please. Some love in my hand, please. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. We got Josette on drums, Young Mike on bass, Matt on the sax, Vitamin D on the keys, Beck on guitar, and I am Shady Rose.
Most groups only really have like one get shit done person, and we're all really get shit done people. By splitting the labor between us in a really useful way, like we each kind of play to our strengths.
All of us come from such different places, you know? I think this is like a real strength of the band is the real like diversity of it and everyone's different musical experiences. I think that comes through in all the different songwriting.
How would we describe our sound? We were talking about this earlier, and I think we said something like, the genre is Lightmare, like the genre is the band itself.
We were described once as party in a box.
Party in a box.
Party in a box is a good descriptor.
We call ourselves soul punk. We were also throwing around words indie, jazz, pop, like almost everything.
I think a value that we share as a group is that the song is more important than the genre.
We operate on one general principle, and it's does it sound good?
Does
right?
it sound good?
It's like that's like honest. Yeah, it's like the most important rule in music as far as I'm concerned. Even like, you know, whether or not like something's in key or theoretically if it makes sense or whatever, like does it sound good? All of our songs are still, they all still have the Lightmare sound, and I'm not sure how else to describe it. I mean, I get a very dreamy vibe from our music personally, and but it has an edge to it, which is where I think like those two the soul and the punk parts in that descriptor, if we're gonna go with that, come together. Is that like, you know, we want people to feel something, and we want it to be, you know, a visceral and emotional experience, and we want to touch your soul. As long as it meets those two criteria and it sounds good, then I think we're pleased with what we come up with.
We can't be good, that's what they say. Down in the fields where lambs may lay. But we know that it's not easy. Being the night that kills the day. And I never thought I'd be. I thought I'd be miles away, 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 away. No, I never thought I'd be. I thought I'd be miles away, 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 away. Heart and earth just won't keep me. Rising and ringing bells they play. Tiny creatures flee from me, and they better not get in my way. And I never thought I'd be. Thought I'd be miles away, 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 away. No, I never thought I'd be. I thought I'd be miles away, 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 brains, chemicals, bodies, personalities. 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 And I never thought I'd be. I thought I'd be miles away, 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 away. No, I never thought I'd be. I thought I'd be miles away, 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 away,
We have a Spinal Tap-esque story about the drummers and like the early history of Lightmare as a band. So we started as a hat band. It's just like a once a year program / meetup thing where, you know, a bunch of different musicians from different walks of life and different levels of experience put their names into a digital hat. You sign up online and they throw you together with a random group of people and you're a band. Vitamin D, myself, and Matt are the original members of the hat band. It's MattyK. Since when? I mean, sorry, yes, MattyK. The purpose of hat band is to have a bunch of bands sort of thrown together, practice for a few months, and then play a showcase later. So we played a showcase at the Black Cat, which went really well, and we got a nice response. We decided to stay together. But before that, we went through, I think, 3 drummers
Yes.
in the 2 months before that show. We had the first drummer was a ghost, apparently. The second drummer was a pretentious jerk. The third drummer, Crystal, was wonderful. And now we have Josette, who is quadruple amazing to all of them.
On drums.
Josette on drums. The two mics joined around the same time, shortly after. No, wait, before Josette. But once we got this crew together, the speed and ease with which we were able to start writing our music and to really gel together was amazing. Like, we're still reeling from from how well we worked together.
So what are a few of the emotions you would say your music especially evokes?
It's love of all sorts.
Yeah.
I would say righteous anger.
Yeah.
We're not just like angry for the sake of being angry. We're angry because there are things to be angry about.
And the words are, good night, white pride. Say it with me, okay? Good night, white pride. Good night, white pride. Good night, white pride. Good night, white pride. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am full to bursting. I am done with your sheep. I am tired, sick and tired. I'll be fine if you leave. Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out of my face! I live proud as a king. I woke from sleeping. I could hard key. I am here for your everything. Don't look for me in your bills. Don't look for me in your pockets. You won't see me till I'm right up on you. Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off! Good night, white pride!
And a lot of the ways that we're post-genre, we're post-rage and post-performativity of emotion. And you might say, that's silly, Shady. You're a performer and you're performing your emotions. But what I mean is, the the anger that we put into our music, and the love and the catharsis and all of the emotions that flood our music are all super real, and they're not intended to influence so much as to relate. It's not like this is how you should feel, as so much as this is how we feel.
No, it's like the same thing with the starting point of every song. It's just you play something, and if you feel it, and if everyone else feels it, you keep going with it.
And a hot plate and stuff, like a futon.
So it's half the point of switching instruments is, playing the nicer keyboard.
Play the album straight through?
either one of two ways from what I've noticed is that someone brings an idea to practice, whether it's a bass line or a chord progression or, you know, a drum beat or something. Then sometimes we'll just jam. And we will, you know, everyone just kind of is improvising and we will hit on something that sounds good. And someone will notice it and be like, wait a minute.
There's so many of those like, oh shit, you're really hitting on something there moments, and it's just wonderful. It's just so wonderful.
It went really, really well.
I'm at the point where I've been listening to it so much that I like am frustrated.
We've become desensitized to how good it is. We recorded 9 tracks in 2 days, a total of about 24 hours. We were all cramped in a room about this size for 12 hours per day, just waiting while everyone else played their parts until we got to our turns. So, I don't know, how do you all feel like that experience went?
It was like surprisingly easy. I feel like
We did a lot of preparation and we put a lot of time in making sure that we were able to do it, because recording is expensive, and we like knocked it out, no problem, and it was just really great to get it back and then hear, you know, how good it was.
We just started playing places. We kind of just like wedged ourselves in. It was like, no, we're here now.
Yeah.
You can make space for Lightmare. It's Lightmare time now.
We've had some fun crowds. There's nothing that's gonna beat 100 people in a venue that only holds 150. I feel like that I would take that over any bigger
Absolutely.
venue. When people are dancing and yelling your name, your name, your name, and really enjoying that, that's fun.
We just want our crowds to dance and to have fun and to feel something at our shows, like, you know, and whether that's a room of 40 people or a room of, you know, 4,000 people, which we haven't had yet.
Fit 4,000 people into a room?
Very carefully. But as long as they're feeling it and they're dancing and they're getting down and we're getting down, you know, there's a very symbiotic relationship there between the crowd and band. What I like the most is that seeing people enjoy what we're putting down.
Shot you in her arms, drowned you.
issues.
I don't know if they're
like
problems. I disagree.
Issues. With sound, or
We're pretty active folks, and finding time, even once a week, finding time to practice together can be challenging sometimes. And at least for me, we want to be playing as much as possible, but there's really only so much you can realistically do with a group this big.
Whenever an issue arises between any arrangement of people, we actively and consciously address the problem. I think we're all anti-drama. I think the thing we've disagreed about the most is what cover to do next.
We keep writing so many things. It's hard for us to find times to learn.
Yeah, when are we even
songs.
gonna do a cover?
if Real Big Fish sees this, I'm trying to hold it down for Real Big Fish.
You want to do a Real Big Fish cover?
Nah.
Really?
See?
Can we?
Holding it down.
I'm sorry. I respect your needs and choices,
It's fine.
but we are not doing a Real Big Fish cover.
What Real Big Fish song would you want to play?
Oh, there's hundreds. Which one?
I don't know any of them.
No,
I would
you
do
have to
Don't
say
Stop-
which one.
I would do Don't Stop Skanking. I would do.
Yes. I'll play some
Oh.
ska. I'm assuming this is ska.
It's
Uh,
It's very, very pop ska.
I think
I've been 100
filmed
against
the
covers
biggest
the whole
fight
time.
that we've ever had.
This is our first fight.
If you play covers, you have to do it better than the band that originally did it, or you have
Which
to
we
be
will.
just so sad that people give you sympathy.
Let's move on.
All right.
Let's move on.
Like once this album actually comes out, that's gonna determine the next, a 2-year period.
I hope I'm still a drummer.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's great.
I hope we have a second album out. Because I feel like we magically come up with songs pretty fast. It's kind of intimidating, and I'm intimidated by us.
You're intimidated by yourself.
Yes, by how fast our songs come out.
That's better than being intimidated by someone else. If in 2 years we still have the oh shit, then we're good.
We're on the right track. I just wanted to be playing something all the time, and I was trying to play all the notes is the way that I think of it. And some famous musician who I don't remember once said, the most important notes are the ones you don't play. That's what has been the most important thing for me to learn personally, artistically speaking anyway. How to make 6 voices into one.
My individuality has value in my art, and it's been a long journey, specifically with music for me, because I started in classical music, and classical music is all about imitating, the classics. It's about imitating the great masters, and if you're not like them, then you're not really that good. So I didn't think I was that great of a singer for a long time. I didn't think I was that great of a lyricist or a songwriter for a long time. And Lightmare has really lifted that sort of off of my practice as an artist, as a musician. It's just about, I'm sure you've heard this before, it's about being yourself. It's about who we are and what we feel and what we think, and making a practice of putting that into my art has been a huge lesson for me, and it's super gratifying.
I'm still really focused on oh God, I fucked that up. That's not in the key that we're playing, or that's not the right note. But something that I've known rationally for a long time that I'm recently emotionally incorporating into my way of being is that the most boring thing to do as an artist is talk about the areas you're not happy with, right? That's not what people are paying attention to. They're paying attention to the connection. And so that's something for me as a performer, not necessarily as a songwriter, but as a performer, I'm a better performer when I stop fixating on that. And when I focus on the feeling and the flow. But I used to, our first couple of shows, I would not look up from the keyboard because I was just too intimidated. And now, I wouldn't give up that interaction with the crowd for anything in the world, right?
It's the best. I think what Beck was saying about the crowd feeling something is really what means the most to me. It's almost like casting a spell on them and then having them come really close and their eyes are really big and wet and they're just like lost in the moment a little bit, because that means that the thing that we all poured into this song is connecting with something inside of them. They hear the song and they cry and slow dance to it.
Oh, I need a high five really quick.
High five. We got 3 more.
If it means